Hello and welcome everyone to The Nothing Show, where I sit here and talk about nothing. It's great to sit here and talk about nothing because you got nothing to talk about. So obviously, as a YouTuber and live streamer, you got to wear the obligatory hat. And tonight it's Isuzu trucks, which I drive, every day at work. And that's it. So I'm just going to sit here and talk about nothing, and I can say hello to everyone. My two favourite viewers, Roger the King Pirate, a legend in his own lunch hour, and the marvelous G from Funkin' Hungry and Hyper Sapien channel. Welcome, boys. Welcome to the show. Let me fiddle around and get comfortable. And don't worry about letting us know what you got up to today, because as the show says, I got up to nothing. No, more serious. Done a fair bit of work at home here today, and got a fair bit done, which is good. Now let's get rid of that ticker. I think we've seen that for long enough. Hope everyone can hear me okay, that I'm coming through loud and clear. You're absolutely right, G. Nothing like a good fiddle. So, yeah. And this is the Nothing Show, where we talk about nothing, and I can sit here all night and talk about nothing if you like. It's really nothing important, but there you go. Cody, g'day, mate. How are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining us. We're talking about nothing. I've named it the Nothing Show because we got nothing to talk about. Just some silly bloke sitting in front of a computer talking into a microphone and having some wonderful people come and watch me talk about nothing. It's absolutely wonderful. I should put a link up to, I should get a Discord chat going and, ask for money and, so I can do further talks about nothing. What do you think? Maybe I should start doing a poll. However, I did learn a few things tonight. I managed to set up Restream with a thumbnail, and it's one of the thumbnails. It's one of the backgrounds I've used before when I've been up in the spaceship. So that was good. And now in the chat, I've managed to put in so that when I talk on or when I chat or reply, you can see my thumbnail coming up instead of the Restream one. Cough button. There you go. And so I'm slowly starting to get the hang of this software. Good on you, Roger. Thanks, mate. Yes, we're all in the round table. That's it. We are the knights of the round table. You got it right the first time, Roger, unless you're referring to someone else. So, what did I do today? Let's bring a photo up, and I'll show you what I did today, or we did today. We, as in the collected. No, I don't want to go there. I want to go there. Well, first of all, let's couple of highlights from on Saturday. No, gee, you were pretty good actually. I thought you handled yourself well. How's that pizza going? You got plenty left over still, or have you eaten it? So I'm going to go into my screen. I'm going to go share, and we'll pop that on. And we'll get rid of that plonker to the right. This photos, I should bring them up first. Very nice looking Ford Mustang. obviously with John Wick beside it. That was in his movie. And there's another view of it. Now, Supernova, if you've ever been to one, it's a Comic Con gaming pop culture sort of expo type thing. Well, let's hope we'll see that one up on your channel soon. Here's a couple of interesting little, we've got Spider-Man and Mandalore there, and the Mandalorian. They came along with us to see what goes on. And then outside, when we were leaving, we had this interesting character. I'm not sure what franchise he's from. If anybody, yeah, Roger, very nice car. But then I think this might have been Jurassic Park or something like that. I didn't quite get the reference, but if anyone knows, feel free to Adventure Time. Thanks, fucking hungry. That's something I haven't watched. It was really well done, actually. So the person in the bird costume, it was really good. The Hob. G'day, Becky. Thanks for joining us. Hang on. Where's Becky? Where are you, Becky? There you go. There we go. Becky's Fishing Adventures. And it's Cody. I think I need to put my glasses on. Becky, Cody, where are you? There you are. Cody's in the chat, so we g'day to everyone. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate the support. And let's go back. So I didn't actually take many photos. It was full on. Oh, this guy here. He was pretty good. This was well worth seeing. He really put a lot of work into his cosplay. Just phenomenal amount of work, and he was getting around. I'll zoom in. He was getting around most of the day. He did tell me who he was. I've totally forgotten. I probably should have. I thought about it afterwards. I should have. I should have got a video of him. Who his character was. Yeah, Roger. Busy day. Lots of people. Got to saw one person that I wanted to see for a while, and that unfortunately that person couldn't make it, so it was via Zoom, which was still good because the actor, yeah, I think you're right. Gee, I think that's who he said he was. I got to see Katie Sackhoff. She's from Battlestar Galactica, and quite a few. Oh, of course, she's in Mandalorian. And consequently, the show in Adelaide, apparently there was only like 10 people in the audience, where for this one there was way more. So it was a full on day. Yeah, she is. So today we're moving stuff around the shed and starting to put stuff into the container because we've got a lot of renovations coming up. So there was a big set of shelves in here, in this space here, and we've now moved that into the shed. So there's still a lot more stuff to go, and a lot more work involved. So, but of course, it's still all up to council approval. The council's got to approve the new shed. This shed will come down and become the new craft room for the wife. Some plonker. So it's all to do with, stuff going on at home. There's just hell of a lot. So let's get rid of that screen. Actually, we'll turn that off there. There we go. And we're back to me, the host of the show, talking about nothing. And of course, I like to talk about nothing because it's nothing, really. And we just need some silly sausage to get up here and say that, he's Red Rooster or some other silly thing. And I can say, well, I'm nothing. I talk about nothing. Oh, Becky, you're doing well. How did you do that? Come on, tell us. How did you do it? G's going to be jealous. Come on, G. What are you doing? You're doing all these food reviews. You're not getting anything for free. What's Becky doing that you're not? It's all those rewards that you get. There's a lot of companies that are doing that now. You buy something, you build up a certain amount of points, or so on and so forth. It's pretty good. But, yeah. So now there's some pretty interesting stuff I got to catch up on YouTube to do with the UFO subject, and well, Roger, I appreciate the support, mate. Even when you're doing nothing, you're doing something. That's right, mate. That's right. Well, we're talking about nothing. So here's a bit of a well, I don't know. Too many things to talk about or not to talk about, and getting your head around things on YouTube. I quickly tried to do a look at adding an introduction or a bit of a lead-in tonight, and something that's a bit longer than what's here on the intros, which is good. It's better than nothing. I mean, StreamYard only gives you 30 seconds. This one here gives you a bit more, like up to a minute on two different ones. So that's pretty good. They also got the standard 30-second ones, but some YouTube channels I watch, they got like a 2-minute intro with a countdown, and I should steal. Actually, I should. I'll find one and show you an example. I think it was. And of course, I don't have any sponsors. Oh no, righto. That must be. Right, so this is the one. Oh, so all right. So this is the one. I'll just share this and show you what I mean. Window or tab. What's the difference? It doesn't matter. And some of you may have seen this. So this is the. I'll include the audio as well. Yeah, that's pretty damn good, Becky. So this is if you watch some live videos, a lot of the oops, a lot of the platforms will use this. I'll just let it go for a bit. In fact, I'll put a full screen and go grab a water. So you get the idea. This one actually goes for 10 minutes, and when you get to the end, which I'll skip into, um, they do a countdown timer, and so there you have it. I should just now I know where it is. Next time I do a stream, I might just open with that when I click the live button, and or go live beforehand and just let it play. So you know that way I could start it easily. Start it 5 minutes beforehand and go 5 minutes after, and come in, and that'll give time for everyone to come in. Because what I notice with a lot of these notifications, when you're watching the channel, you'll get the notification half an hour before, and when they go live, you then get another notification. So there's always that lag by the time you see the link, click on the link, and come into the show, and that's where an introduction like that could go really well. Just give you that little bit of lag time to play catch up with your audience. But anyway, that's something to experiment with, and it's the volume of the audio is not too outlandish. I think there's one out there which I really just don't like. It's just annoying. The music is annoying, and it's so loud. And after the intro, then people come in, and you can hardly hear them talk. They're talking really softly, like this sort of thing. And after a really loud intro, it's just absolutely annoying. But anyway, that's something that annoys me. I'm sure there's things out there that annoy people. I spent enough money on food this weekend. Although it's nice to go and buy something, you know, um, spending more money on food, and I had leftovers tonight, so it's all good. And Uber Eats, let's have a look. Let's have a look at Uber Eats. Or haven't I got it on here anymore? I don't think I have. Search. Nope, don't have it. I think I did have it and got rid of it. So, yeah. Well, Becky, if you manage to Okay. Scam. Okay. I have no idea. What are you referring to there, Peach? Give us a bit more of an explanation on that, thanks, if you could. So the Cybertruck, the Tesla Cybertruck. If anyone is interested, it is a reality. Despite what you may think or what you may have heard, it's definitely coming around like no tomorrow. And let's have a look at some images. Pretty awesome sort of vehicle. Thanks, Roger. The Cybertruck. Well, yeah. Let's just have a look at a few images. It's so we'll go there. The and we'll get some. Come on. Yeah, the old Tesla. Open a new tab. Let's open a new tab and we'll open up this tab. And of course, let's have a look at the three images. I don't want to chat with you. Very striking design, and it can do some pretty amazing things for some. Well, amazing for some people in terms of how much what's involved. The engineering behind it is really the interesting parts that got my attention, because it's not a body on frame design like a lot of vehicles or four-wheel drives. In this case, they're using castings, or what they call the giga castings, in the front and the back, and the battery pack is part of the structural arrangement. And believe it or not, it will go almost 500 miles apparently, from what we've been told. And there's an event coming up at the end of this month to start deliveries to various people who have got their order in, and there's something like 2 million people who have placed orders for this thing. So, it really is a radical design and breakaway from compared to what we're used to. And they have been spotted on the roads doing testing. They've had two down in New Zealand a while back doing winter testing. Also, they've been tested on the road in America, in North America. So it's certainly got a lot of interest. So courtesy of, I'll just do a, probably the most, here's an aerial view of the Cybertruck doing a U-turn. It's pretty incredible, actually. It's pretty impressive. I should make that bigger, shouldn't I? Now that's not computer generated or anything like that. That is the actual vehicle doing. There we go. Doing a U-turn, and it can achieve that by the back set of wheels actually turn a little bit, and it's pretty phenomenal to watch. There you go. You know, so I haven't just sat here and talked about nothing for the last 27 minutes or so. I've actually talked about something. Roger was right. And that's the saying. And the acceleration on this thing is pretty incredible. It can certainly leave a lot of other vehicles behind, especially the instant torque from electric motors, which is absolutely fascinating. Oh my god, I don't believe it. That's good. So, this channel. Right, let's get back to the more entertaining topic of talking about nothing and drinking water on screen. And this is not my supplier of water or promotional support or anything. I have no affiliation, as they say. But it helps lubricate the lips as we're going along. Yeah, other vloggers like to get on and say, tell us about your day, tell us what you're up to or where you've been from, and you don't really have to do that. We're just here to see me and talk about my interesting, silly thoughts on life and up and coming things and interests as well. So let's actually I don't think I've seen this one. Okay, so we're going to watch a video of a steamroller. Now, what's that there? Who's that? I don't think I've seen this one. This is the very same steamroller that I am working on, the one in the shed that you saw earlier. And this is one in the United Kingdom that's actually running, and it's a video I haven't seen of late or before. So I'm going to make that full screen, and I'm going to make this full screen as well, so it's better. And I'll just roll the video. Hopefully. There we go. All right. So that's what my steamroller is going to look like, and that's what it's going to sound like when it's going along the road. Very nice and neat, and plenty of power to do the job. So, and yeah, so I'll go. I can share files from here. I have to go. Sorry, guys, I'm a little bit disorganised. I think of things and then so just give you a bit more rundown on the steamroller. It was built in 1923 by John Fowler and Company of Leeds in the United Kingdom. There was quite a few of them built in the day. There's here in Australia, there's 4 of them surviving, and I will bring up a photo of one, and to give you an idea. So this here is what my steamroller will look like. Now, this one's complete, but as you can see, there's no canopy. However, it's got everything on it, and that's what they look like. Or actually I'll find a better version. But this one is the same as mine. And eventually it will be running. Come Easter of next year, we'll have had it sitting at home here for 6 years. So we're about 5.5 years on the project, and we've certainly got a long way to go yet. And with the renovations here at home, it'll be a little bit of a slowdown on actual now. Modern day rollers look like that. Now, this design is, although it's still very current, it's not being used. There's more modern day double drum type rollers. This is just a motorized version of a steamroller. Still pretty much the same, does the same job, all that sort of stuff. It's good to see history being kept, at least surviving. Not necessarily. It is kept alive. Let's find a good photo for you guys to show you. So if I go into there and wrong one, that one, wrong one. Downloads, no desktop. No. Nice black and white one. So let's just share that. And we'll go full screen. In fact, let's open that in preview. Let's do that again. There we go. Drag that across there. Right, so this is a Fowler steamroller. Not quite sure exactly which number that is, but that is essentially what my steamroller will look like once it's complete with the canopy and so on and so forth. Now, this is a very early photo back in the day at a steam rally in the United Kingdom, and where they had a movement of preserving their history, and still do to today. Now, there's not much difference between this one and the one I'm working on. Obviously, this one's complete and it's operational. This thing at the back here, I'll just zoom in. Is what they call a scarifier. Now, scarifiers are fitted to graders. They're small versions of rippertines that you may see on a bulldozer, and they're like fingers, and they dig into the ground and break it up so that it can be, if it's damaged in some way, it can be re-rolled. It sounds counterproductive, but sometimes you need to do that with road making. So these are a pretty good roller. They get along the road all right. They, as you saw before, now tractor. So there's the same engine, but what this is in a tractor form. So the definition of a tractor is anything that can tow or pull, and so they come in all various shapes and sizes. And, oops. So they come in all various shapes. Feedback. Yeah, so these engines are quite nice when they're finished. Now they come in all sorts of finishes and arrangements. This is how John Fowler and Company advertise their wares. So you'd get a flyer like this. They made steam trucks as well. But essentially the steamroller up there, you could get it in various arrangements with tar spraying, so you could spray tar and make a nice road. Don't forget, back in the day when these were built and used, a lot of the roads were still dirt. They don't have roads like we have today. Of course, the cost of everything. It was a little bit prohibitive in some situations, but most councils, most counties had their own road rolling crew, or maybe they had a contractor who would go from site, unlike what we have today. Not necessarily the same, just with more modern equipment. And they came in all sorts of shapes and sizes. The one I'm working on is a relatively small one, only about 8 tonne in working order. And what's that? Oh, there we go. That's what I wanted. So here you see, let's open him up. There we go. That's better. No, hang on. Here we see a nice example of the type of steamroller that I'm working on. This one's fairly recently restored in the UK. The owner of which I have corresponded with. Oh, come on. And you can see some other examples in the background picture there. Yeah, I like that. And these engines, they look nice. They're quite powerful for their size, and they get along the road pretty well. heard that they get along, do a sort of comfortable speed of 10 to 12 miles per hour on the road. So it's anywhere up to 15 kilometres an hour. So that's pretty sort of fast for a vehicle that was designed to roll roads. And it's painted in all black, so it looks really good. Just a very nice engine indeed. Oops, where'd we go? This is a professional show, just trust me. And these are various close-up shots, which sort of don't mean much to most, but it's really good information for myself, especially when restoring something like this. And there's the engine number. That one we're looking at is 15489. So that's a little bit before mine. Mine's 16930. There's a better photo with no one on it. Just a superb looking machine. Just nice all round engine, versatile. Up close shot. Interesting, he's got an old klaxon horn on the front. So these pieces here, they're the drive gears. Now, they were actually missing off my engine when I got it. However, in a twist of fate, so to speak, these important components came back, which was very nice. I was very appreciative of that. So there's a view of where you stand and operate the engine, steering wheel, and various other controls. It's certainly a sight to behold, and there's a close-up shot of the engine or the motion. This is what makes the steam engine do what it does. So let's see if we can find a photo of this, a good photo of the cylinders, which we did before. That's just the rear looking back. And of course going along. Now let's there you go. There's the cylinders. So in a car engine, the cylinders of a steam roller or steam engine are very similar, just larger in diameter, and that's the bit that provides the power down to the wheels. So there you go. That's probably enough about my steamroller. And we'll go back to talking about nothing, or other YouTubers, that get on here and or used to get on here, and it's all good. Looking at other YouTube channels is good. You learn stuff. It's a good way if you're going to start creating content, like people do. It's a good way. Watching other people's channels is a good way to learn techniques, the way they construct their videos, what they do, and so on and so forth, and how long they go for. Engaging the audience on different subjects or topics is always good too. I suppose the most important thing is, one of the things I've learned is to have good audio. Good audio is important. Now, if you've tuned into some of my earlier streams, you would have seen that I'd done a lot of testing and playing around with this software. I've been on G's live streams. I've been on a couple other people's live streams, and they've all helped me to see what you see here today. And the further I go, the more I learn. And making changes from time to time, only small changes, you can't make big changes, will help you improve your video content. I know Roger does reviews with his brother, which is really good. It's great content, Roger. I'd love to see you do a bit more. A good microphone. This one was secondhand or Facebook Marketplace, and it has really made a difference. If you've got, if you're going to be doing these and you got your audio is crappy, no good, then people will turn off straight away, or not straight away, within a very short period of time. I know myself, I've listened to topics that I've been interested in, but because the audio is hard to understand, I've ended up turning off because it's just not right. You just can't hear it. You can't understand it, and you got to be clear and concise when you're doing this sort of thing. You can be a little bit disorganized, like I am, and no one's perfect. The ones that really have the top ratings and things like that, they get the big views because it's all nicely structured. It sounds great. It's well presented, and the people talking about the subject is on point. And that's part of what you got to do. You got to be able to talk confidently about the subject that you're talking about, and not just ramble on and 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 fiddle like I do and all that sort of stuff, or maybe just sit here and talk about nothing. And g'day to all the 6 people watching in the live stream. I must be doing something right. I haven't asked anyone to come up on the panel yet and join in. But if you want to, I'll provide the link. I'll invite. So there we are, and wouldn't it be funny if, here you go, anyone can click on that link and come and join in the chat. Just make sure you got clothes on. Don't be a douchebag. Don't be silly. All that sort of stuff. If you're someone that's going to cause trouble, you're gone. Simple as that. Be respectful. It's simple. And I'll just play with my hat again and show that I wear Isuzu trucks, and poor old G, he's probably standing out the front waiting for another pizza delivery, or maybe another delivery. Hopefully he's getting something yummy tonight. So live streams, how many? Let's have a look. When you're in YouTube, you can click on live and see how many people are live, and there is a bunch of stuff, depending on the subject you're looking at, of course, is oh, here you go, Roger. This is one. Here's one channel to look at. I'm surprised they're even showing it. Oh, come on. Bloody ads. But hey, the ads pay the bills, so I suppose we've got to put up with it. And there's people just doing videos of a walk along the beach, which yet when you looked at the thumbnail, it was something completely different to what you're actually seeing now. But if you, and that's got 78, so it's Beaches of the World. Started streaming 78 people watching Beaches of the World. There you go. That's amazing. But there again, there's now 7 people watching this stream about some guy talking about nothing. So thank you to all 7. Give us say hello in the chat if you like. And you can even click the live stream and join if you want. Let's get it. I've got a ticker for that. Oh, gee, you're funny. Absolutely funny. Let's put my ticker up. Oh, come on. So whatever it is with this, sometimes when you click on, it won't show. Oh, there we go. So it's a bit slow. Yeah, thanks for watching, all you 7 wonderful people watching me now. That's great. I must be doing something wrong. If I was a stand-up comedian, they'd be throwing tomatoes at me. How's that pizza going, G? You're still waiting for it? So, for those of you that are regular tuner-inners, you'll see myself on here. I'm doing this a bit more regularly, getting used to the software. I've had people like Funkin' Hungry come on. He's got a good channel. He does food reviews. Certainly an interesting take on his food reviews. Now, to be totally honest, and I'll play with my hat again and scratch my forehead because it's absolutely annoying and I don't know why. So I'll leave my hat off. Maybe I'm getting too hot so you can see my bald spot. I'll play a tune on there. Why waste good tomatoes? Well, good tomatoes. Well, yeah, good point. Isn't that why you throw rotten tomatoes at people, G? You know, that's why that you've got Rotten Tomatoes on that website where you can rate movies and so on. Itchy nose. So it really is amazing what's out there on YouTube to watch. I mean, some real crazy stuff, and there doesn't seem to be any end of it. I can't see. What was that? Snooker tournaments? Oh. Snooker tournaments. They only got 16 people watching. Or we can have some alpha waves. There's a channel out there showing alpha waves that can heal the damage to the body and soul and relieve the stress. And it's playing at 432 megahertz. Megabytes, crazy. Or maybe something that, now maybe this will get my viewership up. Maybe this is what you need to do, G. I'll share it. So this is I might get a copyright strike for this, maybe. Hey. Well, maybe somebody got offended. I'm down to 6 viewers now, but who cares? Hey, I've been going almost an hour talking about nothing and showing other people's content. Or, I'm showing my own content too, learning as I go. Well, that's enough. Oh. Yeah. Well, look, she's got a skateboard. Hopefully she's going to skate away. Maybe, Roger, maybe you might have to watch this channel a bit more, mate. What? Thanks, Peach. I appreciate it. We all like a good bikini. Funny how we don't see guys in bikinis. Oh, hang on. Yes, we do. I actually saw that in... Right. True confession here. When I've been to Supernova and Comic Con, the pop culture expos, there's blokes who dress up in Sailor Moon outfits, and it's pretty. It's pretty. How can I say? Pretty interesting, But everyone's free to express themselves however they want. Oh well, do you think we should stop this? Do you think we've had enough, or do you think I should go full screen? Get my ugly mug off. There we go. And we'll go full screen. There we go. That's better. I swear that 7 people are tuning in right now, watching just because I've got bikinis on screen. Oh, rollerblades. Everybody needs some rollerblades. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Yeah, that's what I should do, eh? It's so we'll take that. So there we go. So I can sit here and talk with a lower the music. I think the music's still a bit loud. There we go. And that way you can watch this silly plonker, and we can all watch the bikini babes on screen. But who'd want to watch that? Oh, we're back down to 6 again. It's funny how people drop in and see that if they like the content or not, and then they go. What do you reckon, G? How's this? Is it pretty good? Oops. Oh, there's me in the corner. There we go. Oh, that's right. Just leave me in the background. That's what you should have put. Oh no. Oh no, we've got a commercial. Oh. There we go. So I wonder if we're going to see any plus size models, to keep it fair and equal to everyone. Yeah, you should have just leave me in the. So it looks like, G, you're not going to come up on the channel tonight. You're going to go watch this instead. Oops. Oh no. As you can see, I'm struggling to create content. Oh, here we go. Whoop. Not. Bloody hair. My hair's getting too long again. I need a haircut. I need one of those personal shavers. I'm sure if you watch this long enough, I can't quite move mine. I'm sure if you watch this long enough, you'll probably see the same girls over and over again. In fact, I think that may have been the one that came out on the rollerblades before. Yeah, Cody, I know, but it's YouTube, mate. We got to somebody's got to pay the bills, and you know. No, gee, I'm not trying to move anything. Hang on, I'll tell you what I'll do. Sometimes, no, might have to refresh the page. Oh, there we go. There's a plus size model for everyone. Oh, I wouldn't. Oh, I suppose in the modelling industry, she's a plus size model. Yeah, I might. I'm just going to have to. I think I'll refresh this, and we'll come back to it. And who's this bloke? Oh, there's some plonker on screen showing. Oh God, I don't know. He's just showing somebody else's content. How dare he? Oh, here we go. This is what everyone's been waiting for. We're now going for a ride on a London bus, apparently. So I'm sure everyone will stay to watch this. This is probably more better than the Bikini Girls. Just put your votes in the chat comments and tell me what you like. Tell me what you prefer. I'm sure I know what the results are going to be. Not. Maybe, G, you might recognise some of these places, seeing you come from the UK, but it's been a while, I suppose, since you've been over there. So, no, look, let's get on with something more serious. Oh, you're back with me on screen again. So yes, YouTube is a wonderful place. Now, YouTube is not the only place, of course. There's places like BitChute and Tubi and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Cody. And you can all go and find that channel on YouTube and watch it for yourself. Yeah, yeah. We are crazy plonkers, that's for sure. Well, oh my God. Well, you know, sometimes from time to time, you just have to bring in a co-host and help keep the show going, because I've been going for an hour by myself, talking about nothing, because this show is about nothing. Look, it's even called the Nothing Show. But anyway, here's G from Funkin' Hungry. Hello, G. Welcome.
Hello. I heard someone say plonker, so I thought I'd better rock up. As Roger would call me, the king of the plonkers.
We're all kings to Roger.
So we're all plonkers as well.
Roger's the only royal prawn, though. Seriously, come on, we've got to get that right.
Oh yeah, you can't get much more prawny and royal than good old Roger.
Mm. See, Cody. Cody reckons we're dirty plonkers.
Yeah,
It's not just plonkers,
a
we're
nice
dirty
ring
plonkers.
to it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've got
Dirty
to.
plunkers.
There we go. Oh God, I just can't get comfortable.
Yeah, I sometimes are like that. I'll sit there with a hat and stuff on, and then other times it'll be annoying as.
Mm. So how's your day been, Gene?
Oh yeah, not too bad. I probably should have edited, but yeah, just relax. Um, yeah, not too bad
We
really.
we worked bloody hard today.
Yeah, yeah. You were saying a bit about that earlier.
Yeah, moving
You
stuff
just
around.
rearrange and stuff.
Oh well, we're actually getting. Yeah, we're rearranging stuff, but there's a cause to the purpose. We got to make way for the new shed. The old shed's got to come down, and the other old shed's got to be demolished. So we got a bit of bloody work ahead of us, to tell you the truth, and we're waiting on council approval. And so far, it's been about, or tomorrow it would have been 4 weeks since it's been lodged, and potentially it can take anywhere up to 8 weeks. Yeah, he's back again. Um,
Yeah, the council's funny. I guess they have a lot of requests, but if they wanted you to do, do something, they want you to do it as soon as possible. And then when you want them to do something, it's like, yeah, wait a
well,
while.
well, the Moreton Bay region where we live is pretty big. It really is. So
Yeah,
they've got all sorts of
so a bit
uh,
of a wait list. Yeah,
yeah, they're not just waiting for me to come along and go, oh yeah, I'd like a new shed. Oh yes, we've just been waiting for you, Mister. Here we go. Oh, it's all good. However, the shed company that we're doing it through, they do a lot of paperwork, and they just don't turn around and say, oh, this plonker wants um, a a shed put up. They do the
yeah,
research, they put the plans in, they show where it's going on the property, how tall it is, and you have to pay some money for relaxations and all that sort of stuff. So, and obviously
yeah,
somebody's got to look at that, um, and find out, whether it fits in to the rules and regulations and all that sort of stuff. So
yeah.
uh, um, um, so yeah, the the more there it is, the more I do this, the better I'm getting used to it. I'm finding this platform really good, and they've even got a Facebook community. So I joined that, and
Yeah.
I put a comment in, and I said, however, the pricing plans could be, a little different, or I didn't quite elaborate on that, but one of the moderators of the page, or she must work for the company or something, reached out and said, "Oh, send me a direct message and tell me more about, you know, what the issue is with the pricing plan." So I've got to sit down and write a proper uh, um, thing to this lady who reached out to me. So obviously they're open to I won't say, they're obviously open to ideas. I mean,
Yeah.
I think their pricing structure could, just with that huge leap. Um, but look, I mean, look what you can do just with this free version. So
Yeah. Yeah.
maybe I just need to sit down again and watch um, read through their pricing structure again and just see whether it's worth, you know, taking up their offer. Because how much are you paying on StreamYard?
I reckon it's either 38 or 40 every 4 weeks.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, because
So
the
is that
price that I'm paying,
Australian
that's
dollars or?
that's Australian because I'm paying the 18 or $20 one, but that's American. So,
Hmm,
when you convert it, it changes.
yeah,
I mean, I could have probably, looked into it a bit more, and I guess I've just used the StreamYard from other people using it. A few people we know was using it, so I guess I just went with what I'm familiar with. But it obviously has helped me because I wanted to get my watch time up. I have been able to stream on multiple devices, so it's just helping build up that channel that I want to sort of just move my lives to,
hmm,
and it's gave me more watch time on Funkin' Hungry, so it's definitely done. I mean, you know, there's a lot of stuff I pay for where you question, is it worth it or not? But at the end of the day, that's what you've got to kind of do if you want to build a channel.
yeah,
Spend some
yeah,
money because I'm spending money obviously on trying to upgrade equipment over time, food and stuff to review, and just and then obviously StreamYard.
yeah. Well, that's right. We've all used StreamYard, like you say, for people we used to be on with, and that's
Yeah,
yeah, and that's what everyone gravitates to because that's what they all know. However, excuse me, this a few people, a couple of comments I have seen. One person put in the chat that they had problems with this platform. Um,
okay.
Now they don't say what hardware or software or what their internet connection was.
Yeah,
Obviously, all that stuff comes into account. Another
yeah,
person
so it
said,
might not have been the app at all.
yeah, and another person said, "Oh, I've had nothing but great response from the people."
Yeah,
So I think um, I think the only glitches I've had was where it was it when I was playing that other video from YouTube. So it could have been my connection. I don't have the I have a pretty good connection here. I can We've had the advertisement for fibre to the house, but that's going to be a bit more expense. But we've just got rid of Foxtel, so I can probably justify it and
yeah,
get that direct fibre connection to the house. So I get that extra speed. I think at the moment I'm limited to 50 megabytes down, and it's only about 18 up. Um, Whereas the fibre to the house through Telstra, I believe, is 100 down and probably, I don't know, I'll say 30 up. I'll get some exact numbers so we know what we're talking. And it, and it might be worthwhile me going that way. Um, let's see how we go. Aussie Broadband, they're often. Um, so they all vary. So 5 more rows. Oh, go away, go away, go away. Um, so when was this? Go away, go away. Look, we've been with excuse me, we've been with Telstra for a long time, so I'm just sticking with I'm with Telstra with my mobile. So obviously, I didn't have problems when Optus went down.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, the reason why I went Telstra with my mobile phone, because some of the places I go with work, Telstra is the only provider I can stick with.
Reception and stuff.
Yeah, and even then, it's a bit sketchy in places, but you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, if things keep going the way they're going, this is the best stream I've had so far in terms of number of people. Like I've had up to 7 people. We're back down to 5 now.
Yeah.
But, I'm pretty impressed with that. I don't. Thanks, Peach. Peach is a Preach. Preach is a new viewer on the live stream here. I haven't seen him before, but it's good advice, mate.
I reckon he came from, Robbo's channel or whatever. I've seen Preach on, I reckon, some of my lives and possibly videos on Funkin' Hungry. So.
Actually, yeah, Preach. Let us know where you came across us, how you came across us. That would be good feedback. Thanks, mate.
It's always good to see, like they've probably seen us on other lives or whatever and just enjoyed it and came onto our channel. So, it's always nice to see people, enjoy whatever we talk about, which is nothing tonight, right?
Exactly, absolutely nothing. I'm just it's the nothing show. I am talking about nothing, nothing important, nothing interesting, just nothing.
Well, I kind of like that idea because, in a way, we don't stick to a subject, which is, what's enjoyable. So at least I guess if you were to give it a title where it will come across as, like if you, I guess, talked about just steam trains and stuff like that, people are going to kind of expect it. At least with the title you're saying, it's going to be, pretty open where we can just kind of do what we do anyway.
Yeah, yeah. So he's from Robbo's stream, and look, shout out to Robbo. He gave me a platform. He let me come up on his shows and things like that. And on G's and on your channel as well, G. So there you go. So thanks, thanks, Preach.
Yeah, you doing obviously this more often. People are starting to maybe wonder if it was just a once off or whatever. But yeah, it's good to see more people joining in.
Of course, initially it was a once off. We started fiddling around with the software, seeing how it went, what you can do with it, all that sort of stuff, and hopefully it's come across really good tonight. I hope my timing's been pretty good. I've been a bit shit with some things, but yeah, hopefully
definitely moving in the right direction. I mean, if I ever make a mistake, I just make a joke of it. We're just I'm a plonker, doing whatever plonkers do. But you just you've definitely got you've got a name now for it. You've got just the way that, like you were saying, with all the sort of transitions or the countdowns and it's kind of good that you could sort of model some of this for people that are starting live streams, because you're kind of taking us in the journey of you just working out how you want to create the show.
Yeah.
Sort of, how you want it to look, sound, and so it is sort of, you could even go on to, you were saying, the Restream Facebook group. You could say, come check out my lives if you want, because you're sort of beginning, and if anyone else is just beginning as well, you might pick up a few tips and tricks. And,
and that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. We're here to learn off each other. And if you can just make that make it that little bit more polished, so to say. I,
Yeah,
I don't want to go overboard. I just want to just tidy up a few things and get a bit
yeah.
more proficient with things. Um,
And that's really what YouTube is in a way. It has become where you have these really big channels that are, got a lot of production value behind them. But really, YouTube started and it was always a platform for people just to sort of, do this sort of content where it's just you're learning as you go. A lot of people, when YouTube was sort of in its early stages, didn't have put that much money and all that stuff into their channels. It was just really a platform and a place for people just to sort of, you know, just put out videos or content that is just relatable to them and that they enjoy. So really, it's just evolved over time, but there is still the, channels that, I mean, I still would prefer or like to have better microphone cameras, all the rest of it, but I don't have just that money sitting around that I can
yeah,
just straight away just buy all that stuff. And it is as well, you kind of wonder when you first start, is there any point really spending all that money because will people enjoy the content? So I like even myself, I've evolved over time. So if you go back to the old Funkin' Hungry videos, they're a little bit different. Just me working out how I want to do intros or just generally sort of speak about what I'm doing. And then the hobby channel was even more of a learning, it definitely there was some sort of cringy or just because I couldn't really edit at the time. The app that I used, like I just sort of jumped into it, like jumped in the deep end, didn't really know what I was doing. But yeah, it's taken a couple of years to just sort of get used to it.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's definitely a learning stage.
And the more you do, the better you get. Like, so when I put a comment in so the two things, as I mentioned when I popped the thing in the chat group tonight, there's two things I've
Yeah,
learned. I learned to put a thumbnail in, which I didn't
yeah.
think I could do. I've done that. And number two, I've changed my thing here. So when I type a message, I'll go, hi, every, I'll go, oh, hi. I'll go, hi, every bunny. It comes up with Mark's Shed Talk now, instead of before it was the Restream logo. And
Okay, yeah.
and that's just a little drop down box, which I didn't think I could change. But there's two little minor changes that have probably made a difference to the channel. So everyone knows that as I'm going along, that it's me they're talking to, and um, the thumbnail was just that background I was using up in the spaceship. I
Yeah.
just clicked on it and go, oh yeah, okay, that one looks good. Let's try with that. And it says to resize it or something like that. So yeah, I'll go with that one. So um, what I'm really interested in is when I clicked go live tonight, I then went down to the design, and then straight away I clicked on the countdown timer. So
Yeah.
hopefully the transition when I went live and that came on, went really well. That was one thing I was trying to perfect in the previous live streams. So I should.
Yeah, funny enough, Mick said something quite funny in the group chat before.
Mm,
Have you ever seen? Did you watch much of Seinfeld?
no, no.
Because
Okay.
Seinfeld,
Oh,
Seinfeld's the Jerry the comedian. In one of the episodes, he basically went to like he was trying to push a show, and him and George came up with the idea. They're like, "Oh, what's the show going to be about?" It's kind of exactly, I guess, what you were sort of trying to decide. And then they ended up coming up with the idea. And the funny thing is, they're paying out the actual Seinfeld show because the show's technically about nothing. Like there's no sort of, and so they tried to push this show that George and Jerry wanted to do, and yeah, and it was when they'd done it to the executives like, "What's it about?" "Oh, it's about nothing. It's a show about," and they're like, "Well, it's got to be about it's got to be about something," and it's like, "No, no," like, and yeah, Mick just obviously pointed out that episode or that sort of, and yeah,
Yeah,
that's a bit of a
I do
classic.
recall Seinfeld doing a show about nothing,
Mm.
and that's not where I took it from. Um,
Yeah,
so I'll point out here. I suppose with Seinfeld, I did a Robbo. I watched about 15 minutes of it.
oh,
I didn't find it funny at the time, and I've never watched one since. And even the shorts that they used to play on Foxtel when we had that, you know, advertising the Seinfeld show, I never found those funny. Um, I just now I know people do. I know he's made a lot. He's very successful. He's made a lot of money. I just don't find him funny, you know. But
yeah,
um,
that's good. I didn't really like him when I was younger,
mm,
and didn't really ever find him funny. But I reckon it's because I saw a bit of his, yeah, saw a stand up of his on, it must have been Netflix, and I thought, oh, it's not too bad actually, and went back and did watch the Seinfeld show. I mean,
mm,
it's one of those situations as well. Like many years ago, we were limited to what there was to watch, so sometimes you're almost watching a show because there's not much else on. And we didn't have all these, that was probably before even mobiles could do what they do and all
yeah,
the rest of it. So
mm,
I'm sure a lot of people have watched stuff more because out of boredom a little bit than just because they sort of find it amazing. I
mm.
mean, I guess it's kind of like Friends, that Friends show I've always found fairly cringy and stuff, and loads of people love it.
Yeah. Well, that's another one I couldn't really get into. I suppose because I was already in that older age bracket, I wasn't in that 20, 30 something. You know,
Yeah,
um,
I just
and
find a lot of the characters quite false, like quite unrealistic.
mm, yeah, that's probably why I like Futurama so much. Um, you know, you got someone like Bender, you know, who just does crazy stuff like drinking. He's a beer drinking robot. Like
Yeah,
seriously, who came up with that idea? And um, and Leela, the one eyed humanoid sort of thing, and Fry, the it's just quite funny. I enjoy the silliness of it. I suppose you could say so. Yeah, but I tell you what, I'm going to take a break. So I might put you back in the green room, and
yeah,
I'm just going to play this 10-minute thing that I was playing before. I'm just going to let the whole thing play for 10 minutes, and I'm going to go and make a Ovaltine or hot Ovaltine or Milo or something like that, and we'll come back and we'll chat a bit more. How do you feel about that?
sounds good. I do have about half a cup, but when it starts getting cold, you don't really enjoy it as much. You sort of want to guzzle it down. So yeah, I'll go make a cuppa, and we'll be back soon, everyone.
You can get there's a cup you can get. It plugs into USB and it keeps your mug warm, or the contents inside warm.
Okay, yeah, I have seen sort of similar. Someone that I was seeing a while ago, she had a sort of a kettle that sort of kept the water. 'Cause obviously when you boil it, but it keeps it hot.
Mm,
Like you put it
mm,
on, like it sort of has a heating device. So when you go back 10 minutes, half an hour later, it's ready to go still to
yeah.
make a cuppa quickly.
But you're absolutely right. When your tea, or even when it goes cold, it just tastes terrible. For me, it's got to be hot, a bit like pizza. Pizza's just got to be bloody hot, and
Yeah.
if somebody could come up with a way of keeping pizza hot, that'd be terrific, you know. So
Yeah, I wish
um,
the pizza place that I got last night knew about hot pizza. Someone should tell them that it's better hot.
well, maybe that's something we can talk about on the other side. So, folks, we're going to take a break, and G and I will be back. Enjoy the little break, and we'll be back soon. Here we go with the 10-minute long thingy. G'day everyone, I'm back. A little bit unprofessional on my behalf, but 10 minutes goes way quicker than what you think. And there's a microwave going off with and I tell you what, I'm just going to have to just step away again for a bit. So we'll have a different countdown. Sorry, folks, to do this to you. And G and I will be back shortly. Well, g'day everyone, and thanks for waiting. And I am back. G's just stepped away for a bit. He'll be back soon. And that 10 minutes went a lot faster than what I realised. And we'll bring G back in. He's here. And thanks, G. That 10 minutes went really fast, and I had to come back in and I found another countdown timer for another 5 minutes. So we've been away for about 15,
Yeah,
16 minutes.
I was still listening. I let the dog out for his peeps and poops or whatever, got myself a drink, and you know, for some reason, a container opened on the floor and spilt, so I had all this watery stuff on my foot. So I changed socks and all that stuff. So yeah, time well spent, I guess.
Yeah. However, doing it's I found a few more countdown timers, which is good. And
Right, nice.
I think variety is the spice of life. I do like that science
That's
fiction
they.
type one.
That's what they say in Fit Life, don't they? I had to. Sorry.
That's all right. Well, even while we were away, we still had 4 people watching it drop down to 4. We're back up to 5 now, so I'm really surprised
Yeah,
about that.
nice.
So it just
Appreciated everyone. Well,
yeah,
hopefully, sometimes when you are watching content, I mean, that's what adverts kind of, even though it's to advertise stuff, but it used to be kind of what the only good part about adverts are, it gives you a few minutes to go get a drink or go to the toilet.
mm,
Nice to
exactly.
have a little bit of a break.
And I've had a headwear change, and I realised that I think I may have got a bit sunburnt today um, while working outside. So that's probably why I've been so itchy up the top here.
Yeah, it's like taking off a few like thin little layers of your skin, so it's a little bit itchy and
Yeah. So, but anyway, now what were we going to talk about after we came back from our little break?
um, well, the show,
Talk
what the show's about.
nothing. Oh, that's right. We're talking about nothing. Come on.
If anyone forgot.
Well, I'm the host of the Nothing Show, so there's nothing to talk about, and it's probably nothing important either. So we've got nothing.
It sounds like something like Mel Brooks would come up with.
Yeah, maybe I've watched too many of these movies. Um, maybe I should put another countdown timer on so we can go away and think about something to talk about.
I wonder what you would come back with. Probably nothing.
Another countdown timer.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm drinking, instead of a cup of tea, we brought this Ovaltine sleep thing. So you
Okay.
mix it up with milk, and it's supposed to help you sleep at night for people who have trouble sleeping. And I don't know whether it works or it doesn't. The wife seems to like it. It's quite a nice drink. It's not overpowering. It's just really nice. So
I've got
instead of
myself
a
a jam on toast.
drink review, oh, hang on, I've got to change headsets.
Oh no. It's all
Right.
happening tonight here, everyone.
Yeah, oh yeah, we got our finger on the ball. That's for sure. Sometimes I don't know what it is. Maybe the AirPods are getting down in charge or something like that. But every so often they start losing. Oh, excuse me. Start losing connectivity with the device,
Yeah.
and especially when I'm got my phone in my pocket. When the AirPods start breaking up, I got to take them out, and I put them back in again, and they're right to go. So I don't know what's going on there. So I'll change over to me
Flight Navigator ones.
The what? Sorry?
To change to your Flight Navigator ones.
Not quite. Not quite. I was just double checking the audio settings. Yep, we're all good to go. Bluetooth, amazing. Yeah, so back to our cups of hot beverage.
Beverages, yeah. I've got a Yorkshire jam and toast.
Yorkshire jam and toast.
Mm.
So is it actually like jam and toast, or is it just more sugar based?
It's kind of has a sort of a slight little strawberry sort of flavour to it. I did do a review on this one that's called like it's biscuit flavour, and then I've got one that's a decaf. It it's kind of got a vanilla lemongrass sort of flavour, so I guess a little bit similar to an Earl Grey.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, this I don't have them all the time, but you know, it's nice to sometimes have a little bit of a change up.
Yeah, you're right about Fat Life. Variety's the spice of life. I mean, tea is,
Yeah,
variety in your tea is always good.
yeah. I'm sure people have tea fetishes. If anyone, it's probably me that has one.
I just tend to stick with tea, and I don't vary too much. I do from time to time, but it's one of those things. I don't know. Have you got that tea franchise in Adelaide called T2?
Oh, I have seen it. I've never tried
Yeah.
it.
Well, you go into their stores and
Yeah,
you try the tea there and it tastes nice, and of course you buy some, you take it home, and then you sit it on the shelf and you never drink it, sort of thing. It never
yeah,
tastes the same. Water quality, and mind you, we have filtered water here at home, so
yeah. They probably sprinkle a little bit of crack or something into it, so you're like, oh, this has got a bit of a kick to it, and then you take
yeah,
it home and it's just
I don't
boring old tea.
I don't know, but I suppose a lot of things are like that when they do those demos in store and things like that. Um,
Yeah,
it's always different for some reason, and you get it home and you think, oh, it's like another gadget to go in the drawer or something like that. So
maybe it's kind of just the excitement, a little bit of trying it, and maybe a little bit of endorphins or adrenaline or something's released because you're like, oh,
yeah,
this is a cool experience, and then like, yeah, it's not the
well,
same.
there is that, isn't there? You got the picture, the salesman. He
Yeah, yeah, talks it up.
yeah, he's got his he's got his thing going, and he does it so well and professionally, and he's done it that many times. He knows what to do and how to say it and all that sort of thing.
And they do say stuff is tastes better when it's free. So
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, now, so I'm just going to sit here and talk about nothing again, but we seem to keep talking about nothing, and
that's, that's what we always do.
yeah. Well,
I
I
could
bought,
talk. I could talk about something if you really want me to. Or
but really, the show's about nothing, not something. Maybe that'll be the title of your show
um,
tomorrow night. The show about something.
mine's Monday Night Madness these days, just
That's it.
because a few, you know, it got a little bit mad, and especially when I was doing the multiverse of madness, when I was streaming on all different devices and
Mm.
all sorts of
That's
shenanigans.
that's one thing. It's funny how you know when you go to these pop culture expos like Comic Con and Supernova, how the
Yeah,
themes, how the how the people who dress up in their cosplay varies from time to time. So this time round, Spider Man was quite popular, So there was a lot of
Okay.
Spider-Men. Now,
I thought
previously,
Spider-Man would always be popular.
yeah, no, for some reason there was more Spider-Man than anything else. There's quite a few Mandalorians, quite a few. So
Yeah,
Spider-Man and Mandalorians were the two big ones that I saw.
yeah, right.
Um, there was a few people in Star Trek, uniforms, and that one I showed earlier, that guy in the, that was really well done. He put a lot of work into that. You know, um, it's
Yeah, I
amazing.
think people was dressing up as Mandalorian because one of the actresses is involved in Mandalorian. Could be part
Yeah,
reason.
that's usually how it goes. And for going back, probably 2 years ago now, Deadpool was huge. I mean,
Yeah,
in various shapes and forms, Um, but there was bugger all of Deadpool this time round. I don't think I saw one. Um, and then you get the Disney princesses, and it's just all over the place. And it's good though. You want that variety. But as I say to some people, um, there's some people who go there, and they're only going there to get their photos done, because there's various
yeah,
photographers that set up and just take photos of people in their cosplay, um, and that's great. In and I say, when people say, "Oh, it's too expensive to go," or something like that, well, the one in Brisbane, you say to people, just go to the foyer, sit in the foyer. It's air conditioned, it's lovely, and you just watch people come and go, and you see most of it anyway. If you're into the
yeah.
cosplay
So
side of things.
just a it's like just a day out, but not just going to the shops.
Mm.
You're involved in the environment where everyone's into pop culture and
Yeah,
all
yeah,
that stuff.
yeah, yeah. So, if anyone's never been, I highly recommend that you go and see it for yourself one time, even if you just go to the foyer and just watch the people come and go. I'm sure the convention centre in Adelaide is very similar to the one here in Brisbane. Um, have you've been? Have you, G?
Yeah, so only twice. I would like to go more, but the first time we went and we just sort of looked at stuff. Didn't really pay to have any photos done. Just it was. I reckon I probably just got a few comics and just other stuff. The second time I saw Stan Lee, so I lined up for the photo with Stan Lee. Also, we met Millie Bobby Brown, which is the young lady that plays Eleven in Stranger Things. She was quite young at the time. She was well, this was a few years ago, so she's only turned, I'd say probably only turned 18 recently.
Mm-hmm.
But then I had lined up to get an autograph with Stan Lee, and also I bought some comics and stuff. They had a lot of Stan Lee variant covers and stuff like that, and a few different bits and pieces. Then we saw Stan Lee do his panel, and because my sciatica was a little bit crap at the time, we could have, stuck around and just, you know, enjoyed the experience for what it is, but then pretty much headed off after that. But yeah, being a huge Spider-Man fan, being, Stan Lee used to narrate Spider-Man cartoons back in the day, your Welcome True Believers, and would sort of just meeting someone that, I'm a pretty big Hulk fan, and I do like the Avengers and Iron Man, but that was more later in life, like growing up as a kid. I was more into X-Men as well, which Stan Lee was a huge part of. I really enjoyed the X-Men cartoons, the X-Men. Well, I had a lot of, obviously, being a young kid, action figures of Spider-Man and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, so I loved it, and I kind of knew that Stan Lee was getting on in his life, like becoming quite old and more and more sort of poorly. So I just knew that it was a once in a lifetime opportunity. It was about $250, $300 or whatever for the
Yep.
Excelsior package, where you get photo, a signature, and the panel. Well, if you buy the package, you get to have be seated and closer to him. Otherwise, you'd have to line up and sort of just be in the background and hopefully get a seat or just whatever. But yeah, I mean, I definitely don't regret spending the money. And at the end of the day, like a lot of comics, even if they're kind of average comics signed by Stan Lee, most of the time they go for a good at least $100, just having a signature on it. And who knows how much it'd be now? But you know, some people was getting very rare comics signed by him. I just sort of
Mm.
got a comic that I wanted him to sign, and I did get him to sign with a gold pen. Most of the time, he was doing black signatures, and
Mm-hmm.
I um I gave him yeah, I'm pretty sure I even brought along the pen. It was like a gold Sharpie,
Yeah.
and he signed with that. So I remember he's kind of in that autopilot mode where he's just, and then yeah, I said that I wanted to use this pen, and they had to they had to put it in his hands. Kind of like, oh, this is because he's just like obviously has a few people around him because it would get tiring signing that many signatures and just.
Mm.
And I
Well,
do remember I said to him, thank you very much, Stan, for all you've done for all of us, like like all the comics you've. And I got a bit of a smile and stuff from him, so it was a very small interaction. But and then I did sort of just say to him, oh, thank you for being here when I got a picture with him, but we couldn't because he was sick. You couldn't get too close to him. You kind of had he was sitting on a chair and you had to stand near him. It wasn't that how some interactions people were all posing or hugging him type stuff. Even though I wouldn't necessarily do that, but it was fine. The experience was good and fine for me. I didn't dress up, so I had wanted to, but never have. I do sort of rock the beard a lot, but I have wanted maybe to go as Joker or something like that.
what
Um,
um, what year was that you saw Stan Lee?
I'd say it was about 4 years ago.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure because the way they did it this year, they did Adelaide first, and then they come up to Brisbane. And I'm sure
Yeah,
when you saw Stanley, we saw him as well, but that was
yeah,
before we had met, obviously. And I
yeah.
thought I had photos of it, but I don't. 4 years ago, that would have been what's that? 2018. Yeah, 2018,
It's just
2019.
well, it says here 2017. Maybe that was it's- I'm just looking at articles. It says November 2018 here. I passed away on Tuesday. So yeah, it must have been
Well,
2017,
well,
and
it
he
had
must
to.
have passed away like about a year later.
It had to be the
So that
same.
actually that actually means sorry to that actually means
uh,
in a couple of days is his when he passed, obviously a few years ago, but 13th of November. So it's he passed away on my dog's birthday because my dog's birthday is 13, and yeah, it says here Stanley passed away on. Well, it does say on Tuesday, so it might not be like if it's 13th of November when the article's out, it said on Tuesday, so I'm guessing Lee died on November 12th. So it's funny we mentioned it then. It's today
Mm, yeah.
he passed away. But
Seriously.
yeah, he also came in around probably November because that's most of the time when Supernova's on, isn't it?
Yeah.
November every
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Um,
that's
ah, I'll get a. Did you hear that? No.
no.
Why is... So let me just find... Show all.
And I've got another thing, I guess, that came in the package. I got this really lovely picture of Stan Lee. It was like not quite like a paper poster. It was,
Mm.
I don't know, maybe sort of card or, but yeah, and yeah, picked up a few comic books and stuff like that, and
Mm.
did a bit of chatting, did a bit of bartering. Just like if I bought a few, they sort of lowered the price or whatever, just after having a bit of a chat with them, because I guess it was Stan Lee. There was quite a lot of people that was running some of the comic book stalls were Americans,
Mm.
so they must have been sort of affiliated somehow with Stan Lee. So yeah, it was pretty wild when Stan came into the place. Like just the cheers and all the people going nuts when he just walked through.
Yeah, it was a very, for us, it was definitely a very memorable thing. And I know that a lot of the Americans were upset that he actually came out here to Australia. And,
Yeah, because I
you
guess he
know,
was sort of sick a lot, but they definitely would have got a lot of opportunities to see him over the years.
yeah, yeah. And that's the thing. When you look at the amount of conventions that they have available to them, there's
Yeah,
almost one every weekend, almost.
yeah,
You got Star Trek Las Vegas, and then you got all the other, the big one in Georgia. That's a pretty huge one.
San Diego Comic Con is
Yeah, San
the
Diego.
one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's excuse me. It's they've definitely got more opportunities than us. That's for sure. And I thought, I really do. I just can't put my finger on it.
Yeah, because I know as well, we was talking once about Cody, the Aussie Alistair Brony. He obviously is into his Brony stuff. I know they even have a convention for that. They have
Yeah,
a couple Warhammer ones.
that's
They have I think it's one for the general hobby, and then they have like one that's more just Warhammer. Yeah, so they have like a lot of conventions that can be just for one IP or whatever, or just very open when it's sort of
mm,
like Comic Con.
yeah. Look, it's yeah. I just can't put my damn finger on it. I wish. Oh, I just want to see the photos. I want to see. I, I can remember him being here. I know I was in the one the general Q&A that they do for an hour. Um,
Yeah,
just 17. Yeah, it. So who's that? I don't even know who that is. So we've been down to the one. So they have Brisbane. So we get 3 events pretty well in the year. So they do Supernova Brisbane, which they've just had. In March, they'll have Supernova on the Gold Coast. And then they also have Comic Con here in Brisbane. But uh, what they tend to do in the past is they put Comic Con on first, and
Mm.
it's always a smaller thing, and it's, to me, in my opinion, it's too close to supernova.
Yeah.
So you don't get as many people, and I suppose that can be good in some way, but I don't think Comic Con gets the guests that Supernova does.
Yeah.
Well, even now, um, and of course, being in Australia, um, we don't get the big name guests. If we do, it's it's very rare because just recently there was a bit of a Star Trek sort of thing that was a separate event
Yeah.
that they had on down in Sydney. It was Sydney only. So that was Kate Mulgrew from Star Trek Voyager. Robert Picardo was there, who played the Doctor, um, and there was a few others there as well. Um, one of the ones from Star Trek: Strange New Worlds, or actually there was two of them. Um, so that was a completely separate event um, compared to Supernova or Comic Con, and so they did here in Australia, and then they went to New Zealand as well. So there are opportunities, but when they, I suppose everyone's got their budget, and
Yeah.
if you really want to have your photo taken with someone, um, then you pay the money. You do like you do and pay the money. But
Mm.
there's where is it? It's gone now. There is there is opportunity, to go and meet your favorite star. You know, um, I had a photo taken with what's his name? I can't think of his name now. He played a role in Heroes. He was in Star
Okay.
Wars. Um, he's a good mate of J.J. Abrams. That's why he got the role. Um, and he was an interesting character. Good to see. But it all depends. And the other thing was that before the pandemic, when they did Supernova, they'd have a Friday night thing. So it actually started on the Friday night and went Saturday, Sunday, and they don't do that anymore. And of course, if you wanted to pay whatever it is, $1,000, that got you, you know, a dinner. I think dinner, lunch, breakfast, and that with the stars. So you got access to all of them, sort of thing. Um,
That would be pretty cool.
yeah, they do offer that, and oh, poor old Benji. Benji's not going to make it to Red Rooster. Now, why is? Oh. Well, Benji, Benj, if he's watching, oh no, he's not watching, is he? He's in the chat. Um, there's a hotel near me. Benji could have stayed at.
Oh, is that the one that's like pretty much a stone throw away?
It's the one.
You still have the pleasure of meeting a certain person next year who's going to be just around the corner,
Apparently,
probably probably knocking on doors to find you.
you never know. Might just get a oi oi, or he might turn
Yeah.
up in the electric go kart and beep beep. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh look, there's always. Oh god, I gotta get into this position. There's always people you want to see, and the grass is always greener on the other side when it comes to these. these TV stars, or personalities. You know, some of them.
Yeah, like I guess there's when it's an actor, sometimes you associate that person with the role, and obviously they're totally different. That's why when I was gonna meet Stan Lee, I didn't. This is, I guess, my opinion, but I didn't have to worry about him being different because he's always been exactly the same on interviews. He's always like sort of energetic and sort of playful and all that sort of stuff. Where some of these other like movie actors and ones in series, movies, whatever, some of them are very different than you might imagine them.
Mm, yeah. Yeah, that's right. And that's often the case. We do, I suppose, fall in love or admire the character we see on the screen, and the actual
Yeah,
person, like you say, can be totally different. So like John Barrowman, he's been in. He was the lead role in Torchwood. He's been on Doctor Who as a companion, and he was also in Green Arrow. He is very well. He's openly gay, and he's very flamboyant. And the interactions when you go and have your photo taken with him, the interactions with him, like he will let you put your arm around him and things like that, and
yeah.
he's quite
Like makes the
open.
experience, yeah, makes the
Yeah, and
experience sort
even
of fun.
yeah, even when he does the Q&A, the only request that he has is that when the session starts, the doors closed, and so nobody else can come in. Well, by that time, the theatre that you're in is full anyway, and he really does interact with the audience, and he'll say stuff like, "Oh, the cameraman's going to hate me for this," and he'll jump off stage and go up into the audience, and you know, play. It really makes, and like you say, you get the others who, like sort of
Some
don't
people
come.
seem like they don't want to be there almost.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They come and because I can remember seeing we had what's his name, Peter Mayhew, Peter Mayhew, Chewbacca,
Yeah, yeah,
the original one, and
yeah.
he was once again not long after he came out here and did his show in Brisbane. I couldn't believe how tall he was, and of course he was in a wheelchair at the time. The MC did a really good job, and at some point he turned around and said, "Oh, that must almost be time," and the MC was really good and said, "Oh, well, almost, but we just got a few more questions," and stretched it out a bit. So
Nice.
you could see his age was failing, or his body was failing, and that's something I've seen where people who are tall like that later in life have a lot
Yeah,
of problems, and so there's another one we were lucky to see, um, you know, but it was quite good, you know. But we've also had Spike from Angel. Was it Angel?
yeah, yeah. He
Yeah.
was here when I reckon it was the time Stan Lee was here, and I wouldn't have minded to get a picture and just to chat with him, but
Mm.
when I'm sort of I can't sort of pay to see everyone, but yeah,
Well,
I definitely enjoyed Buffy, and he was one of my favorite characters.
mm,
That's a Josh Whedon project, isn't it?
yeah, yeah.
And because he continued Buffy, but in comic books after. So I forget what season it stopped, but he did like a couple of seasons through comic books.
Well, talking about comics, it just came up on YouTube. There was Spaceballs, the animated series, and there's obviously a guy doing a review to it, and I sent that to you in Messenger to have a look at.
Yeah,
And you know, it's funny how these things work out. It's also there's a lot of people be surprised how these actors also do a lot of voice acting as well. There's a few of them that have come out, and they've done voice acting for a lot of these video games. Um, well, look at Mark Hamill after he done Star Wars. You know, everybody thought that he was gone, but he did he did a cartoon series. Oh,
I know that he was the Joker in the
yes,
animated Batman.
that's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
because
Yeah.
obviously me being a bit of a fan of Batman and Joker, he is actually, when I read comics, that's kind of the voice I associate with Joker, his sort of voice, because it's just in the live action they've done different sort of variants of their own sort of version, but yeah, just I kind of hear that sort of voice when I picture the Joker. And I believe he's done it for like about 20 years,
Mm, mm.
maybe even more, but give or take. And yeah, he did that. He has done other in different sort of media. He's done different characters as well. I mean, have you ever seen Jay and Silent Bob, the Kevin Smith
No.
film? Because yeah, in that film, it's Jay and Silent Bob. They go to Hollywood because they end up stealing a monkey, and it's just this crazy story. They steal a monkey because they think that's what these girls that they liked were interested in, but they just use them as sort of like a decoy while they went and stole diamonds. And they try to and then someone steals the monkey. So Silent Bob is Kevin Smith who writes and directs them, and he basically doesn't talk. And then Jay's like, "Oh, I wonder where they're going." And at the back of the car that stole the monkey, it says "Hollywood's of Critters of Hollywood." So Silent Bob gets annoyed and grabs him and says, "The back of the sign is on. It said Critters of Hollywood, you dumb fuck." But yeah, they have loads of people in that film. They have like Wes Craven who did Nightmare on Elm Street. He did, but because yeah, they just have when they go to Hollywood, they just have all these different actors involved. But yeah, Mark Hamill is in that, and they
Mm.
sort of pay out Star Wars, and Mark Hamill's character is called Clock Knocker. And they ask him why. They ask him are you called Clock Knocker? And he's like, "Oh, there's a very funny story about that actually." And then he comes up to it. Yeah, yeah, Mark Hamill says I think like, George Lucas is going to sue us or something because they sort of instead of having lightsabers, they have bong sabers. So when they're fighting, he stops and just has a bit of a token and carries on and stuff. It's just ridiculous. But yeah, Mark Hamill has been the Joker and been Luke Skywalker, so two characters that I very much enjoyed growing up.
Mm, mm. Yeah, he's certainly because like a lot of things, like a lot of these actors, because you don't see them on screen, you think they're doing nothing, but in fact, some of them are
Yeah,
they're doing other projects, and sometimes they're projects we don't see, in our country. But um, there's in this day and age, there's ways and means of getting other content to watch your favourite show, especially if you're a fan of it. So one I'm waiting on is um, what's that one? Mind blank. Yeah, there you go. It's gone. Must have been a lie. Yeah, I still can't think of it. It was here. It aired on Channel 9, and Resident Alien. That's the one, and that stars Alan Tudyk. Now
Yeah.
before that, he did a series called Con Men or Con Man, and it was chucking off at the people who went to, the science fiction conventions and all that sort of stuff. So
Yeah.
I don't think I saw all of Con Man. I would have liked to, but quite a funny character, and we did get to see him here in Australia. Unfortunately, though, there was a lot of people wanting to see him, and I think he did have some sort of flu or something when he came here. So, um,
Okay.
uh, although he stuck it out, he really did, um, you know,
Put
do
in
the
the
thing,
effort.
and yeah, stepped up and did the thing. So obviously, modern day drugs would have helped, like it helps all of us. That's for sure.
Right, cocaine or whatever.
Yeah, no, I don't
It's the
think.
money he's got. Yeah, I guess he'd probably be talking a bit faster and stuff if he was on that.
Yeah, maybe he was, but oh well. Well,
Yeah, whatever those Hollywood people are into.
yeah, depending on what crowd and that you spin in and run in and all that sort of stuff. So, we're coming up to the 2.5 hour mark, and I think I'm going to call it at that, because it's 11 o'clock for me and 11:30 for you or
Yeah,
whatever it is, and I've got to go to work tomorrow. So I appreciate you coming on here, G,
no
and the
worries.
support that you're giving me, with these live streams. And yeah, it's I'm enjoying what we're doing, or enjoying what I'm doing and getting better at it. I'll get a bit more organised and talk about talk about some different subjects, or be a bit more organised. I think that's the main thing. I think just being having good well, not one of the main things. It's just having content and talking about it, you know, that we can all relate to. Um,
Well, I don't think you could have got any better content tonight with the old jiggly bits, and that was definitely thrilling content right there.
yeah. And countdown timers. Who would have thought that countdown timers would be a thing?
Yeah,
Maybe.
appreciate it, Cody.
Uh, Thank you, Cody. Do appreciate your support of what I'm doing here, which is talking about nothing. And it's amazing, how many people come in and listen to two crazy guys talk about absolutely nothing.
Exactly.
So on that note, I better put up the old where is it? Where is it? Come on, there it is. Thanks everyone for joining us. I do appreciate you having it here, and we are going to say good night. And it's good night from G, and it's good night Australia from me. And